Hello there guys, it's Joey and this is the continuation of journaling with the Prisma Visions Tarot deck. So this is the second card I felt drawn to pull out, which is the Two of Wands. And they're very intense, these cards, and it's just so incredible to just sit with these cards and they just talk to you, at least they do to me. They talk to me completely differently. There is no hesitation even. Anticipation. So from the book, to get things started, a man, although I didn't initially think it was a man, I was thinking it was more of a woman shape, but I guess that's possibly because you basically superimposing your own gender onto the card. Anyway, a book from the book, a man stands on the opposite side of the river from the molting ace, culling its vitality and channeling it towards his staves, one in his hand and one in his satchel. The wands resemble an open gate, drawing the potent energy inwards towards his heart. The outstretched tendril has found a flesh and blood benefactor and will lend its searing power to his identity. He is the worldly manifestation of the ethereal ace. Divine inspiration without tangible manifestation is a beautiful dream. Careful planning is the stoic, immutable foundation of any newfound enterprise. Be level-headed and down to earth, practice self-discipline and good sense, but never forget how anointed you felt when you drew the first bolt towards you. Your unique creativity and passion are about to serve you a great purpose. Be you. By daring to show your truest self, you will attract the people you need toward you. I sort of noted about the waning moon question mark here. From in the book earlier, the overall message of fire or wands, with imagination hard at work, a fire rises from the earth. Associations being fire, the season being spring, and the creation of idea from inception to manifestation. Okay, and I'm going to talk about my feelings as I sort of journaled through the imagery of the card. The first and most resounding feeling I get from this card is one word: seeds. Which is interesting given that wands is associated with fire and seeds would seemingly be more of an earth-based energy. In fact, the choice of spring as the season for the suit, and even the imagery on the card, which includes flowers, earth and a river, water, all appear at odds with the fire element of the card. So how does seeds and the rest of the imagery tie into fire energy? I think there are two viable answers here. One is the outline of the mountains in the background, which are in silhouette. I will zoom in so you can see a little bit better for while we talk about this. I think that the outline of mountains in the background are instead volcanic. The build-up of the red, yellow and orange colour around their silhouette could be indicative of the fire element existing within, as well as the inkling of a possible sunrise, the light behind them. Either of these possibilities are great movements of fire energy with potential. The sun is not yet risen, but the dawn brings with it infinite possibilities of a new day. The volcanic eruption brings with it infinite possibilities of destruction. However, volcanic soil is the most fertile in a lot of situations, which can relate back to seeds. Seeds being given the most potential to flourish and grow. The second hint of fire here is in movement, kinetic energy. When energy transfers from one thing to another, heat, fire, is created. Transfer of energy is a key theme of this card, as the two staves, wands, are imbued with the energy from the ace, depicted almost as being seeds in the air. That's a little bit far. There you go. So your movement here into the stave. Perhaps all the elements here are so present to reaffirm that they must all be present and working together in order for anything to manifest. The potential of a new beginning has to be backed by action, the kinetic energy of which we've already spoken, in all forms, the realm of air, in the mind, the spoken word, giving something breath, earth, the action grounded in reality, in the element of water, the fluidity of an idea into something, as well as the realm of being emotionally invested, and fire, the desire and will to make something happen. The staves here are the gateway that the man holds open. His action in holding the staves, as well as his will, magically infusing the staves with the energy, creates this doorway or gateway. The river lays before him, he still must cross it. The volcanic mountains lay before him, he still must climb them, and the meadow lays between the river and the volcanic mountains, he must still walk the path. Much action is still required once he passes through this threshold of the staves. There is still much work to be done. Potential is boundless, wondrous and infinite. The road awaits and beckons, but the river must be crossed, the meadow walked and the mountain climbed. That kinetic energy must be used, else the heat evaporates and the potential is lost or wasted. There's also the destructive possibility to this card, hinted at by the volcanic mountains and as well by the waning moon imagery. The waning moon is a time for banishing spells and destroying that which no longer serves us. It grows, inverted commas, lesser, at least being less visible as time goes on, until it reaches the new moon, a time of death and rebirth. The moon here cautions against hesitation, lest the path become less illuminated as time passes, and it will become harder to see. Although nothing is concrete and the cycles ever go on, this particular opportunity could be lost. And then the moon is up there, there you go. So the depiction of the seeds here, from the ace to the two of staves, remind me of a hook. Very much so. Which is very apt for the idea behind creative energy. It hooks onto you, entices you, pulls you forward. Creativity grabs you, grabs your mind, shapes your senses, or at least it should, flooding you with ideas and possibilities. But it is only the hook, the beginning. You must find the fire to chase the dream. The flowers behind the man seem fuller and more numerous than those ahead. This could be indicative of the movement required from the past or present to the future. The 4 flowers behind him are complete, in full bloom, already realised. They are ready to be left and wither and die with the passing of time. Spring is the ultimate beginning of the year, if you like. So it really it's a really interesting card for me. You started off looking at it thinking, how is this fire? Like for me, fire would be more of a summer energy, right? It wouldn't be a spring energy. But once you really get into the card and you're like, there's water in this card, and there is air in this card, and there are flowers in this card, where's the fire? And you realise that the fire is the thread which is sewing all of these individual images together. It's the potential, it's the movement, it's the kineticness of interlinking energies between all these things, the potential, the fire, the will and the drive. I really enjoyed this card. At first I thought I was going to have a difficult time getting into it because of the complete lack of fire in the card and it being spring and things. I was initially a little hesitant, And then I realised that my hesitation to the card is exactly what the card is talking about. And it was so funny how my initial reaction to the card, that initial hesitation, and then overcoming that and just delving into the card and getting all this meaning out, was exactly the reflection of what the card wanted, in essence, to talk about. They're mad, these cards. They're insane. I love them. I think they just talk. They just flat out talk, as far as I'm concerned. They are living, breathing things. They're amazing. So that is it for this video with the Prisma Visions Tarot. We shall pick another card in a week or 2 weeks, depending on how I feel about connecting with the energy and sort of journaling on a personal level. So that's it for today. Many blessings.